New at noon, a hearing just wrapped up in Union Parish today for Kory York. Today, the former Louisiana State Police trooper accepted a plea deal in connection to the violent in-custody death of Ronald Greene, a black man. As part of the deal, York pleaded no contest to 8 counts of simple battery. A judge sentenced him to a year of supervised probation, a $1,000 fine, and 160 hours of community service. Body camera footage appears to show Greene was dragged by his ankles in shackles and beaten after a high-speed chase in 2019. York was one of 5 law enforcement officers indicted in 2022. Now only Union Parish Sheriff's Deputy Chris Harpin still faces charges.